Hello everyone, welcome back to Just Invest Today, and today we are talking about Alibaba splitting into 6 different units. This caused Alibaba stock to go up more than 14% for the day, which was amazing. People are extremely bullish on Alibaba now. People are going back on, oh my god, it's uninvestable, which is actually surprising. Alibaba is trying to unlock the value in the company because it knows it's super undervalued. So I'm going to break down why this is such great news that it's splitting into 6 different divisions. What does this mean for the Alibaba stock? Is this going to re-rate Alibaba, bringing Alibaba back up to $200+ per share? Let's dive into what's happening with Alibaba and how this news is going to affect the company. Let's get into it. But before we do, like and subscribe to my channel. Alibaba right now is a $265 billion company. With Alibaba going into this direction by splitting up the companies into 6 different units, it's going to allow each individual unit to kind of do its own thing, compete in its own industry, and kind of have its own CEO, which is going to actually bring a lot of cost benefits to Alibaba. Let's look at the breakdown of these 6 different units and what it's going to do for the business. So let's get into it right now. So China Commerce right now is bringing $170 billion to the Alibaba business. Overall, this is bringing 70% of the revenue generation for Alibaba. This is the most profitable businesses for Alibaba right now. Taobao and Tmall. We have international commerce is basically the second unit with Lazada, with AliExpress, with Trendyol. We have local consumer services with like Alumi. We have Xian Now. This is going to be the logistics service that they're going to provide. Then we have cloud segment. Then we have the digital media. So the cloud segment, I think, is going to be the ultimate truth of Alibaba, which I hope is going to provide all of this value for Alibaba's future. And I think this is what they're really depending on, Alibaba Cloud, to show the true value of Alibaba. It's so important to note the growth of these individual segments, because if you look at the bigger picture on the $107 billion that Alibaba is generating just from the e-commerce platforms, people are disregarding the other segments. And that's how Alibaba is going to show its true value. When you have segments in the business growing 18% and no one really cares, that's like, what? How are you growing segments in the business that are growing 18% and no one cares? And that's because the overall business is just so huge, it's not going to have a true effect. So with these individual companies going to do its own thing, you're going to actually see the true growth and what the multiple people are going to give to those individual companies. For example, we have year-over-year 18% international commerce growth. Guys, if that was an individual company, that is truly amazing. Local consumer services, 6%. See how now, 27% year-over-year. That's insane. The cloud growth, only 3%, but that's going to be a huge revenue growth in the future. The market for cloud is going to grow 20% into 2025. So if you still believe that Alibaba is going to hold a 38% market share on the cloud segment, that 3% over time is going to grow very, very big. Now you see why Alibaba would split these divisions in its own sectors, because you're going to truly appreciate the growth of the cloud business, the international commerce, now the logistics services. You're going to appreciate the growth even more. Then when it comes to efficiency and actually getting rid of middle management, we just seen Alibaba generate $11 billion of free cash flow just from reducing costs. What do you think is going to happen when they reduce costs even more? You're going to become more linear, and then the decision making is going to be more decentralized. They're not going to need the 200,000 employees as much. They're going to be more decentralized, so the CEOs can make decisions even faster. So you can kind of see the cost efficiency that's going to happen in each individual businesses. So that's going to show extreme free cash flow generations into the future. This is going to be on top of the China market expansion already. They're predicting GDP growth of 5%. We have China opening up, no more zero COVID policy. We're going to have a bigger middle class for China. So all of these factors are going to kind of go into the growth of these individual businesses. The second huge benefit that I think people are not really discussing is that they got government approval for this. There's no way Alibaba just comes up with this news, do this on their own accord. We've seen what happened when they did this with Didi. They shut that Didi IPO down. We've seen what happened with the Ant IPO when they're kind of doing their own thing and they're not going to the authorities for approval. It just shuts it down. So for Alibaba to come out with this news, that means that they got government approval. This is going to be very beneficial for Alibaba to continue growing at a higher speed into the future, and not looking at Alibaba as just this huge monopoly, taking all the share of China commerce and not giving back to China overall. This would just have a huge benefit of just being on the regulator's side, which can kind of see Alibaba getting back to that 10, 15, 20% growth that they were doing before the whole crackdowns. Lastly, we have to think about the big picture. Cloud is the future of Alibaba. When people see that Ali Cloud is going to generate 10, 50% revenue growth, that potential of future revenue growth with how the cloud market is expanding with the margins of the cloud segment, that's going to just have a huge benefit for the cloud business. Just imagine Amazon coming to market and splitting AWS. I honestly think that AWS can probably even become bigger than the Amazon business itself. So just imagine how the cloud segment of Alibaba can just generate crazy potential for Alibaba itself. If you think about it like that, you can kind of see the potential for Alibaba. AWS by itself would just be insane. It would put a huge multiple on AWS if it was just by itself. It probably could be bigger than Amazon, man. So it's just crazy to think about the potential of that. So guys, tell me what you think about Alibaba doing this. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? A lot of people are saying it might not be that much value creation for Alibaba. Some people are super excited. Tell me what you fit in the spectrum, guys. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Peace.